Brazil is bigger than Europe. It's larger than the continental United States. But most people only imagine Carnival in Rio or the Amazon rainforest. The truth? Brazil is a continent disguised as a single country. 5 vast regions, each with its own people, landscapes, and economy. Let's see the real Brazil. Brazil is officially divided into 5 great regions: the North, the Northeast, the Center-West, the Southeast, and the South. Each one is almost like a country of its own, with unique landscapes, climates, histories, and traditions. Think of it this way. In the same nation, you can find the world's largest rainforest, endless beaches, vast savannas, modern megacities, and even mountains where it sometimes snows. These regions also move Brazil's economy in very different ways. Some are powered by farming and cattle, others by technology and finance, and others by tourism and culture. Together, they form a giant mosaic, a country full of contrasts and surprises. In this video, we'll travel across all 5 regions, one by one, to understand how Brazil really works, and why it feels like a continent disguised as a single nation. The North is Brazil's giant. It covers almost half of the country's territory, an area larger than India. Yet, less than 10% of Brazilians live here. Most of them are concentrated in a few river cities, like Manaus and Belém. This is the land of the Amazon, the largest rainforest on Earth. It produces a fifth of the planet's fresh water, and its biodiversity is unmatched. Millions of plant and animal species, many still unknown to science. Economically, the North is both ancient and modern. For centuries, people lived from the forest, rubber, acai, Brazil nuts, fish. Today, mining and hydroelectric dams play a major role, and in Manaus, a free trade zone brings factories and technology companies to the middle of the jungle. But the region also faces challenges. Deforestation, illegal mining, and pressures on indigenous lands are constant debates, not only in Brazil, but worldwide. The North is, above all, a frontier, a place where nature's immensity shapes the daily life of millions, and where the future of the planet's environment is closely tied to local choices. The Northeast is Brazil's cultural heart. It was here that the Portuguese first arrived in 1500, and where African and indigenous influences deeply shaped the country's identity. Today, more than 57 million people live in this region, more than the entire population of Italy. Its landscapes are diverse. Miles of tropical beaches, colonial cities painted in bright colors, and the Sertão, a vast semi-arid interior. This dry land gave birth to unique traditions, music, and literature, often telling stories of resilience and survival. The Northeast is famous worldwide for its festivals. Carnival in Salvador, the June festivals of the interior, and the rhythms of samba, reggae, and forró bring millions together every year. Economically, sugarcane and fruit plantations have long dominated the coast. But today, the region is also becoming Brazil's renewable energy frontier, with huge fields of wind turbines and solar farms spreading across the dry backlands. The Northeast is a land of contrasts between drought and abundance, history and modernity, tradition and innovation. It's a region that shows how Brazil's past and future coexist side by side. The center-west of Brazil's wide-open frontier. It makes up nearly 1/5 of the national territory, but is home to only about 16 million people. This region hosts 2 of Brazil's most remarkable biomes: the Cerrado, a vast tropical savanna that covers most of the land, and the Pantanal, the world's largest wetland, famous for its jaguars, caimans, and countless bird species. At its heart lies Brasília, Brazil's futuristic capital, built in the 1960s to symbolize a new era of development. Its modernist architecture, designed by Oscar Niemeyer, is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Economically, the center-west is Brazil's breadbasket. Immense farms produce soybeans, corn, and beef for export, feeding millions worldwide. ranching and agribusiness dominate the landscape, supported by modern logistics corridors that connect the region to ports and markets. But this growth comes with challenges. Deforestation of the Cerrado, fires in the Pantanal, and pressure on indigenous territories highlight the delicate balance between development and conservation. The Center-West is both the political brain and the agricultural engine of Brazil, a place where futuristic cities meet some of the richest ecosystems on Earth. The Southeast is Brazil's powerhouse. It covers only about 11% of the territory, but is home to more than 85 million people, almost 40% of the country's population. This region is Brazil's most urbanized, with sprawling megacities like São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, and Belo Horizonte. Here you'll find the country's tallest skyscrapers, its busiest ports, and its most famous landmarks. The economy is Brazil's strongest. Finance, industry, oil, and technology all converge here. São Paulo alone is Latin America's financial capital, while Rio de Janeiro mixes global tourism with offshore oil platforms just off its coast. Minas Gerais adds mining and steel production, completing a triangle of economic strength. The original Atlantic forest once covered most of the southeast, but today only fragments remain. This loss is one of Brazil's greatest environmental challenges, though conservation efforts are slowly recovering parts of it. The Southeast is a region of superlatives, the richest and most industrialized, the most populous. It's the beating heart of Brazil's economy, and the stage where much of its culture and global image is projected to the world. The South is Brazil's smallest region in area, only about 7% of a country, but with 30 million inhabitants, it's one of the most developed, with high living standards and strong industries. Geographically, it feels different. The climate is subtropical, with 4 distinct seasons, and in the mountains of Santa Catarina and Rio Grande do Sul, snow can fall during winter. This is rare in tropical Brazil and makes the South unique. Historically, waves of European immigration shaped the culture here. German, Italian, and Polish influences are visible in the architecture, the food, and even in regional festivals. But the South is also deeply Brazilian, with traditions like chimarrão, gaúcho culture, and vibrant folk music. Economically, the region combines strong agribusiness, soy, poultry, and wine production, with advanced industries and growing tech hubs, especially in Curitiba and Florianópolis. The South is a region of diversity within itself. Waterfalls like Iguaçu, vast pine forests, fertile valleys, and modern cities. It's a place where Brazil shows yet another unexpected face, cooler, cosmopolitan, and distinctly its own. When we put the 5 regions side by side, Brazil's diversity becomes clear. The north is vast and green, larger than many countries combined. It holds the Amazon, the lungs of the world. The northeast, by contrast, is densely populated and deeply cultural. From colonial cities to the dry sertão, it represents both Brazil's roots and its resilience. The Center-West is the land of wide horizons. The Cerrado and the Pantanal show Brazil's incredible biodiversity, while agribusiness turns the region into a global food supplier. The Southeast is the opposite, compact in size, but immense in influence. It is Brazil's economic and industrial core. Finally, the South, with European immigration shaping local traditions, a cooler climate, it feels both familiar to outsiders and uniquely Brazilian. Taken together, these regions show a country that is not one story, but many. Brazil is, in every sense, a continent disguised as a single nation. Which Brazil did you imagine before this video? If you enjoyed this journey, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone curious about Brazil. And tell us in the comments, which region surprised you the most? Because this was only the beginning. In our next episodes, we'll dive deeper into each of these regions and uncover the hidden faces of Brazil.